Spider Ham, Spider Ham. Oh,
Spider Ham. And
I mean, it doesn't really flow off the tongue there, Scott. Spider Man, Spider Man. All right.
Spider Man.
Welcome to episode 27 of Drinking Draw, Comic Jam Hawaii's Drinking Draw. Tonight we're doing Spider Man because Spider Man Far From Home is coming out tomorrow for the early birds and Friday for everybody else. And I don't get to see it till Saturday. I do get to see it. But that's okay because nobody likes Spider Man, right, Scott?
Nobody likes Spider Man.
All right. But we're going to try and talk about Spider Man anyway. All right, let me take this. Off. You can see there's Scott and I. See if I can double it bigger, maybe. Okay. You can't adjust that, can I? Let's see, slide the paper over, I guess. Oh, I guess we are getting joined. Here's Sandy.
Yay.
Hold on, Sandy. Ooh. Yeah.
Sunday.
Sandy.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab my drink.
Right. I'm gonna mute you when you set up. Okay, so Spider-Man. Who's watching? Who we got? Spider-Man. I'll go back pretty far on Spider-Man because I started reading comics in the 70s. As soon as I was old enough to start picking them up, so I go back pretty far. And then I've got, and then once I got a little older, I could realize, hey, you go back and find back issues. I started picking up some of the back issues. I don't have anything super old. I mean, I do have some of the Ditko's. Not many. I have a misprinted one. I have one with where he's fighting the Vulture, and it's got two covers.
Wow.
Yeah. And then let's see, obviously John Romita Sr. I've got a lot of his. I have the one with the death of Gwen Stacy. I have the Punisher appearance, the first Punisher. The Punisher appeared in Spider-Man. Some of Spider-Man's villains, like when we saw the Captain America movie, they had Batroc the Leaper, and he was in a Spider-Man comic. I remember seeing Batroc the Leaper fight Spider-Man, and Gargoyle, and obviously Green Goblin. I remember Flash Thompson, turning into an astronaut, and then turning into a Wolfman, and Man-Wolf. They couldn't call him a Wolfman. That's part of that Comics Code Authority where they couldn't have like undead and supernatural.
At the time, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why Morbius. Like when you see Morbius, he's the living vampire. He's not a vampire. He's the living vampire.
Oh,
that was how they skirted the Comics Code Authority.
That's what they cared about, the Comics Code Authority.
Yeah. So I mean, I have an affinity for the Peter Parker Spider-Man, but the old school Peter Parker when before he had muscles.
No.
He was just a kid with glasses and he gradually got more buff as it went along. But when Ditko first drew him, he was a stick figure of a man.
To an extent, I think a lot of the characters around that time period were kind of, I don't want to say, they weren't as Renaissance, muscular, type characters as they are today, as they started becoming like in the 80s and stuff like that, 70s and 80s.
You don't think so? Well, yeah, like Superman. Superman wasn't always jacked, and neither was Batman.
Right, right. And like even by today's standards, sometimes when they draw like guys like the Flash, he's like all ripped too. So it's kind of like, oh, okay. It's
Yeah,
not
that would never made sense to me because he's you figure that guy's burning through calories.
right. And he should have a leaner runner's body, but then like
I always thought he should look like a speed skater, like huge thighs, small upper body.
right, right. Like did you see when Eddie McGuinness was doing some of this stuff like that, and all the guys were like super super buff.
Yeah, Ed McGuinness draws everybody buff. But let's see. Darren says, I learned that what makes Spider-Man popular is he's a superhero we can all relate to. He ain't rich like Batman. He tries to make ends meet like the most of us. Also, like most of us, he had a history of being bullied. Yeah. I mean, it depends on which iteration you're talking about. He does eventually get rich. um, he's obviously smarter than the average Joe, though. He's like
Not
even if you go
anymore.
back, even if you go back to the Ditko version, right? He gets bitten, gets the powers, but he's smart enough. He's a science guy, and he makes his web shooters, right?
That was before though,
Before what?
because um in the new like in the movies and stuff, right? The whole thing is Tony Stark builds all the stuff for him basically almost. I mean, I guess and this iteration is not bad because he built his web shooters, and even though he has a kind of funky costume, but like
Well, yeah, they did take a little bit of the innovation away from him, but he's able to understand Stark's tech too.
right,
You
right,
know? So he's not an idiot.
right. But like some of the you know what I kind of missed from the movies and stuff is the oh no, I ran out of web fluid stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was weird when they which version was it where they made them organic?
Toby Maguire.
The Tobey
Ugh.
Maguire, right? That was kind of
Yeah,
weird to me, but
I
and
was
it
not
takes
a
away
fan
the
of Toby's.
and it
But
takes away the some of this the smartness.
yeah,
When you look at the movie versions, it's you know it's like I think Toby made a decent Peter. He wasn't a great Spider-Man, and then Andrew Garfield was a good Spider-Man, but not a great Peter.
that one is kind of arguable because he made a pretty good Ultimates Peter
Oh, okay,
Parker.
maybe,
Yeah,
but
if we're gonna go by that kind of standards where he fits that mold of Peter and stuff like that, so he was
because like here like when you think of normally when you think of Peter, you think of the nerdy schlubby kind of kid,
right,
right?
right,
That ain't that ain't Andrew Garfield. He's a handsome dude. He looks like a surfer dude.
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's why at first I didn't care for the Ultimate storyline because it was just so different, the way they were changing things along like that. But it's like, whereas I think, I mean, if you gave Tom Holland like, they should have given him the glasses. I think at some point maybe that would have been kind of a lot more uh, Peter. Then again, that's not modern day fashion. I was gonna say that vest. I keep thinking of that like the Amazing Fantasy 15 where he's wearing that Peter Parker's wearing the vest. Is it a black vest and the white under his shirt?
Sandy, you still there?
Yeah.
What do you know about Spider-Man?
Mm, I don't know. I've seen all of the movies and some of the cartoons.
Any
I don't
resonate
like.
with you more than others?
I don't like Tom Holland.
You do or you don't? I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand that.
I don't.
You don't? Why is that?
But I didn't like the other one before him either. So
Andrew Garfield?
yeah. I'm very upset they're letting him play Nathan Drake.
He's playing young Nathan Drake. He's not playing the one from the game, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I haven't really played the game, but he doesn't look like the Nathan Drake from the game.
He doesn't at all.
But he could be a decent young Nathan Drake, I think. Ron says he'll just be listening. He's got extra work to finish. All right, Ron, no worries. Ron messaging me. Darren says he has to admit he's always preferred organic web shooters. Mechanical is fine too. Um, they both work, but like I said, having the organic web shooters takes away some of the sciencey stuff. Like I like the idea that he was able to create his own web shooters. So it gave him some agency on top of his powers, and not just hey, I am my powers.
But then there's that argument that some people have had that, well, if you're going to give him the organic web shooters, shouldn't it be coming out where, just on the spider, where it comes out on the spider? How did it suddenly become from the wrist?
His belly?
From his butt?
From his, but they don't really come out the butt, but messy tonight.
Oh, yeah. Their stomach called spinnerets.
Yeah, it's not really the butt, but did you watch by any chance? Did you watch that Corridor Crew where they made Spider-Man R-rated?
No.
Because they took like scenes from the movies and made them graphically violent. So the scene in Spider-Man 2 where he's like trying to stop the train.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's in front of the train. He's shooting out web shooters, but his arms get pulled off. And so to keep trying to stop it, he takes off his boots and he shoots webs from his feet.
Lovely.
I won't say more than that. You need to check it out. It's like I said, it's graphically violent. So. Sorry. This who's talking. Darren says, for the record, just prefer organic shooters. Doesn't mean I want webs coming out from his you know what. You have either one of you have like a favorite Spider-Man story arc? But it sounds like Sandy's knowledge is mostly from the movies. Is that right?
I've seen a few of the older cartoons. Um,
Not Electric Company? This is spam. Let's see. We can just ignore Sandra, I think. Uh, I did decide to simulcast this, so it's streaming to YouTube as well, so people can watch it outside of Facebook.
Yay.
But the downside is YouTube is a crappy place. And you can see this Sandra Adams, the BASF.tech is a spam bot thing.
They got spam bots on YouTube too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm turn to the side. Do any of you play the games?
I don't. Scott probably has.
Yeah. Actually, I think. I hope Jackson's not listening, but I think I still got his Spider-Man for the PS4 game.
I heard that the one on the PS4 was really good. I haven't played the
That was pretty good.
newer one with the Miles in it.
Of course, it's not as good as a Batman game, but
I love the Batman games. I played all of the Batman games.
yeah. Do you play the Genesis version?
I believe he's talking to you, Sandy.
I didn't catch that.
Did you ever play the Genesis version of the game?
The Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
For Spider-Man?
Yeah.
No.
That one was kind of cool because you had to also take pictures. You had to take pictures, and the better pictures you took, the more money you got. And you
Oh,
needed
that's
the money to
cool.
buy web fluid. I don't know if that's even still an issue anymore. I don't know if they even. I don't read Spider-Man comics regularly, but before there was kind of a thing they had going on with him. It was where he would run out of web fluid at the most inopportune time.
Are you guys gonna go see the new Spider-Man?
Oh, yeah. I got my tickets for Saturday.
Maybe go someday.
Look forward to it.
Oh, we got a lot of villains in this one.
It's Liquitex Inc. Ron's asking what the ink is. Oh, what's the link? Okay, I misread them. Okay. Paste. I thought you couldn't come in, Ron. You said you were busy.
Yay.
Sent Ron the link. I should have erased out the pencils before I did this, darn it.
Still think I'm paranoid? Gentlemen, my name is Dude, and I run the place.
I read last week's message.
You need professional help.
His name's Ron, I guess. I don't know.
So 27, life absorbing. You got it.
Oh, okay.
They're even strong H and J. They're going to touch your school.
There's Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, you read last week's message. Oh, oh.
Sorry.
Hey guys.
Yay. Boom, boom.
All right, let's see if I can share screen. If not, I'll have to go old school on this.
Ron, are you a Spider-Man fan?
Yeah. Not one of my favorite characters, but I like him. Had so many animated shows when we were younger, so can't help but like them after a while. Okay, I can't share screen, so I guess I'll draw the old-fashioned way again.
That's good to do it every now and then. Remember your roots.
Yeah, and I like how IT supposedly upgraded my all the software on my computer. Now I can't even share. Good old IT.
You don't think that was intentional on IT's part to keep you from sharing?
They must have read all my messages to the other team members. I guess it wasn't very flattering. Me always accusing them of some online competition they're busy with while we're working. Okay, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
So many to choose from. So many villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vincent D'Onofrio's on my mind because he was in the latest episode. He's coming back. Vincent D'Onofrio's coming back to the MCU.
Oh, I thought it was going to say Law and Order.
Which Law and Order?
Criminal Intent.
How many Law and Orders are there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, I think.
Man, I'm drawing a blank. Who's the?
Doc
Who's the
Ock, Scorpion, Stiltman.
Stiltman.
Kingpin,
Spider Ham,
Goblin, Hobgoblin,
Stiltman.
Spider Man,
um, Vulture.
that's the best villain, Spider Man villain,
Who?
Vulture. But I'm biased.
Well,
Why are you biased?
I both played. Well, you know who plays Vulture, right?
Oh, the Adrian Toomes Vulture in the MCU.
Oh.
You're right. I should have known. Dry. No.
Oh, who's this one?
Drawing the villain.
Well, I'm googling all these villains, Spider-Man villains. Ringer. Guess what he has a lot of?
Rings.
Nah, he's just good at everything.
Kingpin fought a lot of people. Darren commenting on the Kingpin.
Hey, Deadpool was in a few of his issues.
All right, so I try and get for getting ahead of myself and dry this off. Something else while I wait for this to dry. All right, let's see. The old school Spider-Man. I'm gonna copy a Ditko. Do the cover where he's swinging.
So what's Spider-Woman's power?
Just give like
Crouching on buildings with their butt in the air, apparently.
She can't shoot webs, can she?
these darts, stingers, or something like that.
Like I haven't kept current on comics, so some of the characters they talk about, like Madam Web and stuff like that, I don't know who they. But apparently Spider Woman becomes Madam Web. Is that right?
Madam Web. I'm just perusing through Google right now. Yeah, a lot of artists draw Spider-Man differently, huh?
Yeah.
I kind of like this long and lanky version of him. I don't know who drew this, though.
If you go to the stylized versions, I like the way Maduera drew them, like gecko fingers. You know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I grew up with John Romita Sr., so that's when I think of Spider-Man. Even though I know Ditko created him, I think of John Romita Jr.'s or John Romita Sr.'s rather.
All right.
Sandy, you're awful quiet. Everything all right?
Just trying to figure out how this is gonna come out. I'm drawing stuff from into the universe, by the universe.
You ever started drawing and you're just not feeling? I feel like just scrapping this one and starting something else.
I already did that 3 times. I'm not liking this one either.
Even though I have the reference, mine feels much more static. Even though my anatomy is probably better than Ditko's, I still don't have that flow to it. That's why we have erasers.
And the undo button.
Alt Z, Control Z. All right, let's see. Some other inspiration. Here goes the Rhino.
I thought you
Morales.
said wino.
Let's see if I can get something in my head here.
Was Drew supposed to be drawing also?
Drew
Gutierrez?
Gutierrez. He had said he could. He'd try to make it, but then he remembered he had another appointment. All good. Ron, do you know Spider-Man more from the live action stuff or from the comics?
The comics and the animated series. Yeah, I watched the live action stuff also. But I think I remember the animated series more than the comic books. Hey, so are the other two, I mean, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, going to be the next one?
I don't know for sure. My bet would be yes, but probably just for the final act.
Hmm. When does it open?
Tomorrow.
Huh. You mean Thursday at midnight?
Do they have midnight shows anymore?
Or they just,
Well, it usually opens up like Thursday night for us, so usually like 7 or 8 is the first showing.
oh yeah, Thursday, huh?
That's the early showing. What would be like Thursday midnight for what you're thinking?
Hmm.
Not usually not midnight.
Yeah. I miss when the studio had these free screenings.
Did you get to go to them?
Oh yeah, love those things because not everybody in the studio goes to it, so there's a lot of space.
Crazy looking angle. Go with that. Daredevil saying, let's see, Darren saying, I understand Frank Miller used turned Kingpin into a great Marvel villain. Well, I'm not sure if it was Frank Miller, but he definitely did good use of him. Jacket open. Hobbs. Drawn, but you guys have a favorite Spider-Man villain?
Mm,
Deadpool.
Deadpool. I was pretty happy with the Craven's Last Hunt. Remember that story arc?
Hmm.
I thought they made Craven an interesting villain.
I never liked Craven in the comic book. I liked Mysterio better. I just thought he had a cool look.
Bubblehead.
Yeah, the fishbowl. But yeah, Craven to me, I don't know.
What's that noise? Just dry enough to work with yet. In the movies, I like Mysterio.
I actually didn't like Jake Gyllenhaal's portrayal of him.
Why not?
I don't know. In the comic books and the animated series, I don't remember seeing his face.
Well, it was kind of cool that they took the whole idea of like, okay, he's like a special effects guy, and they literally made him a special effects guy. He's like wearing a green screen suit, or not a mocap suit.
Mm-hmm.
And they I mean it's Hollywood, but they did come up with an explanation for how he was able to do this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a Hollywood explanation. It wouldn't stand up in the real world.
I thought in the comic books he was a little more mystical.
No, it was all tricks.
Smokes and mirrors.
It was all tricks. How's it, everybody? What are we drawing tonight? That is Randy Covington. Name sounds familiar. Why does that name sound familiar? Tonight we're drawing Spider-Man stuff, Randy. You want to come in and join us? Did Randy say he might join us one of these times?
yeah. I don't know if he brought a sketchbook with him.
See it work?
Mm-hmm.
Ah. Sketch.
Ugly, ugly, ugly.
Three. He says he forgot the sketch pad. Got distracted and had to rush to work. Why'd you distract him, Sandy?
Yeah. They draw on some printer paper.
Oh,
What's that?
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Getting ready to do cowboy again.
whoa. Oh, no cowboy. Steel horse I ride.
This way. More passing. Are we ready to do a round? We've been going for about 50 minutes. That didn't sound very promising.
No, not for. I'm still having trouble drawing.
Me too. I don't like this. I'm gonna draw something else.
Yeah, I feel like trying something else. Yeah.
Brush isn't stiff enough to do this. Paper is.
Yeah, how was the rains from last week?
What's the what?
The rains. Is it bad? From last
It wasn't.
week.
I didn't think it was all that bad, but the winds were pretty hard though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the winds were pretty rough.
Sandy, where do you live?
Minnesota.
How bad was the weather?
It actually hasn't been that bad yet this year.
Oh.
It's usually way worse than this by now.
Yeah, I saw the national report. Seems like there's a sort of storm heading all the way up the middle of the country.
I think the most snow we got right now is 10 inches so far, and it's usually way more than that.
Oh. Do you guys get tornadoes there?
Haven't for a long time. I think the last really big one was in the 90s.
Oh, but you guys do get tornadoes.
Yeah, just very
Rare.
rarely.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of cold weather.
Hmm.
Ice and snow.
And it's been mild so far?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be mild for you guys, but
Well, Ron's in California, so
Yeah.
it's a little sweeter for him.
And Southern California, so. And but it's freezing right now. It's
I have a fan blowing on me right now.
I think for Sandy this would be balmy weather, but in California right now it's like 50. So
yeah, it's fall weather. You guys crack me up when you complain about like 50s and 60s.
oh yeah, we hate it. We absolutely hate this type of weather right now. 50. Jeez.
It's like negative here. So.
Every, when we go out and just do our daily walk, everybody's all bundled up.
I
And
think it's like 30s, 29. Like it was between 15 and 35 last week. And people were in shorts still.
Crazy.
nobody in shorts around here, and
I saw someone out in the snow walking in shorts the other day. So, yep, they're Minnesota.
yeah, over here it was I think it was like 54, and everybody's bundled up. So it's freezing over here. And I like how when we get one day of rain, it's storm watch. All the stations is storm watch.
Did anybody has anybody kept up with like Spider-Man, like 2099 and stuff? That's something I never really got into myself. Or Ultimate Spider-Man. Or,
Not really.
Yeah, other than the movies.
was the Ultimate? Wait, was the Ultimate the one where Doc Ock took over as Spider-Man?
Yeah. No, not Ultra. That was regular continuity for a while.
Doc
I
Ock.
mean, I never read those. I remember hearing about that story. That just sounded crazy to me. And he was like a
Yeah.
better Spider-Man than Peter Parker,
Yeah.
like a more effective Spider-Man.
What?
Yeah. He basically swapped minds with Peter Parker.
Oh,
So Peter Parker was in this old dying Doc Ock body, and Doc Ock was in Spider-Man's body.
well, that happened.
Comics. That's comics. Oh, Doc Ock. One Kingpin. Right there. Alice here. What pen was I using? I forgot what pen I was using. It. Anyway, here. There's something done. There's Wilson Fisk.
Hey.
Somebody had a bad day. Crossed the wrong guy. Scott, you got anything to show?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, look at you got a lot of stuff. Look at it.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah,
Spider
that
Man.
Spider Pig.
Peter Porker.
Was that called
pretty
Spider
buff-
Pig?
That's a pretty buff Spider Man up top, man. You got some meat on his legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the half mask one too. The glasses, nice touch. All right,
With the stink
thank you,
lines.
Scott. All right. Lon, do you have anything to show, or are you just hanging out?
This is like my 5th drawing I'm trying to start. I don't know what's happening.
All right, back to the drawing board.
I feel like I'm just hanging out.
Miles Morales has like it does have webbing on it, but it's like black on black, right? Or like dark gray
Black
on
and
black.
red.
It's like dark gray on black though, like the you can't really see it. So I told Scott beforehand, but Mog Park's drawn bid this month theme of Spider-Man, so that's why I'm not using my book. I can actually turn these into Mog's drawn bid.
Oh. Yeah, maybe if I can come up with something. Wait a minute, I've drawn Spider-Man before.
You've drawn Spider-Man a lot. In fact, that last Spider-Man you drew for the Minicon, I like that one. Or was that an older Spider-Man you had lying around?
I think it was an older one, and I just recolored it. I think I added the cat. I think you may have been the only one that liked it, Mike.
I don't believe that. I'm just not a buyer, though. You know, it's
Oh, yeah.
better look at the shoe in here. I still don't like drawn feet. It's a mental block. All right. You guys are awful quiet tonight, man.
I'm a cowboy.
I'm just getting
Right,
frustrated.
keep going.
I can't even come up with a right pose for this. Done a lot of erasing instead of drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not flowing smoothly. That's what happens when you just do environments and vehicles all the time. Try to do a character, feels weird.
pocket on his shorts. Back pocket. Seam down the side. Front. Suit. Racer. Sandy, can we see what you're doing? You got enough progress now to look at something, right? Look at that. It's Peter Parker with the tan, right?
That's Miles.
Just messing with you. Miles Morales.
Or in Europe.
One of the first characters that got the neckbeards all riled up, making a Black Spider-Man.
Miles Morales. I saw this one post that said Miles Morales, or as they say in Europe, Kilometer Morales.
But I'm pumped. Gosh. Red accents first. You guys all see the trailer for the sequel for Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
No. Is it out? I'm assuming it's out.
Just a teaser because it's not out for another year.
No.
But is it Across the Spider-Verse Part 1? So they're already planning to make it a two-parter. At least a two-parter.
I guess they didn't want to make a 2-hour-long cartoon or something, because then it would take longer, maybe.
The teaser has Spider-Man 2099 in it.
Oh, so they're gonna have all these incarnations of
Spider-Man Beyond.
I don't think. I think the only new one they showed was 2099, right?
Do they have the? I thought they were going to put the Japanese one in.
Oh, I think they're going to, but I think the only one they showed in the teaser was 2099. Yeah, what do they call the Japanese one again? The name for it.
They call him?
Yeah, there's a. Am I imagining things? They don't have like a particular name for him.
Spider-Man.
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 Spider.
Spider-Man.
So it's just Spider-Man with an accent.
I don't know how he kind of necessarily fits in, though.
Ron, since you're probably the closest to my age, do you remember the 70s Spider-Man?
Yep.
Nicholas Hammond.
Yeah.
Sound of Music. The guy from the Sound of Music.
Is that his name?
Nicholas Hammond. Yeah.
Be funny to see him come back.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
I think so. One of the few, ones we grew up with in the 70s that is still around. I know Isis is dead, and
Oh, really? She was like that reporter in Spider-Man.
Joanna something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Joanna Cameron. Yeah, she's no longer with us.
Mm. I think it wasn't until my 20s that I realized, oh, that's the same actress that played Isis. You guys remember the Isis and Shazam?
Oh, it's just Shazam Power Hour. Yeah. And Arc 2. Do you remember Arc 2?
Yeah. The good old days. Jason of Star Command.
Jason of Darkman. That one, I don't think I got that one where I grew up.
Sometimes I have to double check because I might be mixing things up. But let's see. Jason of Star. Oh, yeah, there is a Jason of Star Command.
It's just like a lot of the shows they had here in Hawaii. I find out that I don't have that same background. You know.
Well, I mean, like the ones from Japan, you probably didn't get, other than maybe Ultraman and Godzilla. You know.
Well, here's the thing with those. I only got those when I went to visit my aunt in Las Vegas. Like we didn't get them in Flagstaff.
What did you get? Get any of the Japanese?
The closest we had was we got Shogun Warriors
Oh, okay.
and
Voltron or anything like that?
and Voltron. Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the other one that's like Shogun Warriors? The Voltron.
What about like Star Blazers? Did you get that?
Nope.
Robotech?
Nope.
Necros.
Yeah, it's the joys of growing up in Arizona.
Oh, even over here, I talked to some of the guys that born and raised here, and they didn't get that much. I mean, they had Ultraman and a lot of the older anime and Godzilla, Voltron and whatnot. But that's about it. Unlike Hawaii, where we got a whole bunch of those.
Battle Fever.
Battle Fever.
Battle Fever is the Avengers of Tokusatsu.
Oh, we were watching Pluto, and Pluto has this whole bunch of older, I guess, Go Rangers.
Tokusatsu Network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so. And one of the writers for
Kamen Riders?
writer, like a writer.
Yeah.
Like
A writer?
Yeah,
Like
writer. Yeah.
You writing stuff? Oh,
Writing scripts and stuff. But one of the guys from Transformers, he did a short film because he loved, the Power Rangers growing up. So he did a short film. But, when he got older, he realized a few things. And so it's a short. So it starts off as the guys, in their base. And of course, Monster shows up terrorizing the city. And so they all look at each other, on the big screen computer, and it says like, oh, there's a monster terrorizing. Like, goes, okay, let's go. And they show them transform, and then they leave, right? And you see the monster still terrorizing, I guess, whatever, still terrorizing the, people in the city. Then all of a sudden you see this big foot just stomp on it. And they're already in their big mechanical robot.
Yeah.
And so they're in there saying, like, "Hey, what do you guys want to go for lunch?" They're like, "Oh, we should just the usual." And then that was it. That was just like the whole thing. Because he realized, why didn't they just go into their big robot? Because in all the episodes, they always go into the big robot because the monster always grows big. And they
Yeah,
find
it's
him.
like, why don't we just lead with this?
Yeah, so it's boom. And then they did another one where they were. So after that, they show another monster terrorizing the city. He goes, "Oh, all right, guys, let's go." So they went, and then he gets stomped again. But then they show the cockpit of the where where they are in the robot, and I think all but two of them decided to transform. So the other guys are just human, and so the three that were in their ranger costume, they looked at him and said, "Hey, why did you guys change?" He says, "What for? I mean, we can still control this thing even though we didn't transform." And then they cut right there. And I thought that, hey, yeah, that was pretty funny. See, all you gotta do is have that big robot. You don't even have to transform. But then again, he's also the writer that killed off a few Transformers, so didn't like him for that.
Did you guys watch? You guys have Disney because they have like a special on the Japanese version
Of
of Spider-Man,
oh,
like a whole kind of like a documentary kind of deep dive into it. Talking about I forget the writer they sent over there. Just like they he sent the American writer to go over there and kind of run it. And he had to learn all the ins and outs and trying to create something that would work for the Japanese market. It's a pretty interesting documentary if you get a chance to watch it.
I wonder how they got the license. They just decided to buy it.
Well,
So,
there's a
lease
period
it?
of time where Marvel was hurting.
Oh,
That's how Sony got Spider-Man, and Universal got the Hulk. Because like there was a while where Disney or rather Marvel was just selling off usage rights right and left to you know keep the company afloat.
was it you that told me that story? Because Marvel was selling it off. I guess Sony sent one of their representatives over there, and he, I guess, when he went there and decided to get some of the characters, he reported back saying like, "Hey, they have all these other characters. You want to get that too?" And I think Sony said no, and I think it was like the X-Men and the Avengers.
Yeah, they had the opportunity at one point. Like I said,
Yeah,
Marvel was hurting. They were selling rights off right and left. So yeah, when they sold the rights to Spider-Man, they could have picked up others.
yeah.
But you have to consider at that time too. It's like people didn't know the other properties really. Like Spider-Man was the flagship property. You can understand why they'd want that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, who knows? Who knew who the Fantastic Four were, except for comic readers? But the people making shows are looking for the ones that break out beyond comics. watching something. I hear like soundtrack or something going in the background.
Yeah. We're watching TV in the background.
Sorry.
What are you watching, Scott?
What do you?
Men in Black 3?
That, wait, that's not the latest one.
Latest one is that European one, right? The British. And then
No, that's the last one with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones.
yeah, but the latest one is that one, right? The
Right,
British one. Yeah.
what's his name? What's her name? Chris
Yeah.
Hemsworth.
Oh. Yeah, it was Thor and Valkyrie.
Oh, yeah, she's Valkyrie.
Huh?
Oh, that's right. She's Valkyrie.
Tessa Thompson. Chris Hemsworth. I didn't think it was as bad as everybody made it out to be. It was pretty shallow, but it wasn't a horrible. It's not the worst thing ever, you know.
Oh, it was.
But here's the thing: is like I can usually find something of interest in any movie. It has to be pretty bad before I just have to give up entirely. You know, one of the things, like being a visual guy, I don't know if you can appreciate this or not, but like I can watch bad movies and still appreciate what's going on visually. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Alien 3 was a bore, but visually it's all.
Like a lot of people panned the Scarlett Johansson version of Ghost in the Shell,
Mm-hmm.
but if you just watch it for the visuals, they did some really cool stuff in that movie. And there are some scenes that are like almost shot for shot remakes of the anime.
What about Cowboy Bebop? Did you like that?
It took me a couple episodes to get into it, but once I got into it, it was fine.
Mm.
Like I had trouble getting into the Faye character for a bit.
She's annoying.
But this is where you bring your own biases in, because I had watched the anime first.
Mm.
They already canceled the live action show for Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, because fans suck, you know. Did you run into any of that, like when you were like say Stretch Armstrong, because that's like taking an older property and trying to breathe new life into it. Did you get much fan backlash from that, Ron?
Well, not really, because a lot of the fans just said like, well, they made a character out of a toy that can stretch, or they made an animated series out of a toy that can stretch. That was most of the comments. Like, oh, okay. I don't think it was beloved, so
Yeah.
well, it was a beloved toy, but that was about it.
Like I know people were ripping apart Kevin Smith for Masters of the Universe.
Oh, that's understandable.
Why was it understandable? Did you watch it?
Well, I think it's because Masters of the Universe, He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
I mean, yeah, that's
Part of
obviously
a childhood, you know. I mean, it's a bigger part of your childhood. I mean, if you watched it a lot, and so people care about it more, I guess, as opposed to like Stretch Armstrong.
So you never run into that any of the stuff you worked on?
Except for Batman. Everybody has an opinion on the Batman.
Really? I didn't think anybody liked Batman.
Oh, that's wrong way. Wrong way.
I mean, yeah, working on even Justice League and the Batman. Oh, you'd always hear about it. Why'd they do that? It's not supposed to be like this. Superman looks weird. Why did they make Batman that color?
That's dry. Well, that's dry. I'm gonna go back and touch up some flowers on Wilson.
Yeah, which is understandable. I mean, like I said, that Batman is people love that character, so they're gonna comment on it.
Why is Batman so beloved, Scott?
Because he's the best.
He's a rich psychopath.
With a cool belt.
who has some weird live-in relationships with young boys.
Hey. You see they're redoing Zorro?
They're redoing Zorro.
Yeah.
Are they going to do it as a period piece, or are they making it like a current?
The wording of it is weird because it's
Zorro?
yeah. It's a period piece, but it's gonna be made contemporary. So
Oh no. Well, I don't know why they're remaking Zorro. I mean, Zorro the Gay Blade was pretty good.
I don't know. The best part of the most recent movie was Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I don't know.
Antonio Banderas was kind of fun.
Huh?
Antonio Banderas as Zorro was kind of fun.
Have you seen the Gay Blade?
That's with Hamilton, right?
Yeah, let's shoot like you don't know his name.
It's been a while.
George something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hamilton
Yeah.
or Hamill, something.
I want to see Hamilton also. Yeah, George Hamilton. I mean, we have it on we have it on DVD. To us, it's still hilarious.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I have seen it.
To me, that's the best Zorro movie.
I'm trying to recall scenes from Zorro the Gay Blade. I can't really picture anything in my head.
The scene I always thought was funny is they were having like a costume party, and so the guy George Hamilton just told everybody to come as Zorro, and so the whole costume party was just everybody dressed as Zorro, and it was at the that sheriff or whatever that guy's name that's always goes after him. He's trying to become a rebel. And he was the one that was holding the costume party, and everybody came as Zorro.
The new computer puts out a lot of heat.
Well, he had that twin brother, and he was the gay Blade, but he didn't have a sword. He had a whip, and he would dress up flamboyantly. So it was Zorro in all these different colors.
That wasn't from the guy that made Spaceballs, was it?
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks. That wasn't a Mel Brooks movie, was it?
I wonder. I mean, it's like the 80s, so he had a whole bunch of these comedies. George Hamilton, Lauren Hutton, Brenda Vaccaro. 81. Wow.
I have to go back and look that up. I mean, I've seen it, but it's been years.
Oh, 81.
So, like I said, I can't picture any scenes really. It
Wasn't
seems like
that-
something Mel Brooks would have done.
No, I don't recognize the director. I'm looking at his list of work, and none of them sound familiar. Oh, it says here George Hamilton was nominated for a Golden Globe for his performance. It wasn't Batman inspired by Zorro.
Yep. Zorro and Da Vinci's Flying Machine.
It's flying machine.
Ooh, this is not good. It had a budget of 12.6 million, and it only brought in 5.1 million.
Wow.
In the box office.
Why was that? Because homophobes? They didn't want to see a gay blade?
Well, back then, yeah. But that's just box office. What about the VHS tape? Huh. It must have made up for it. Was Blockbuster around back then?
In the 80s?
Yeah, when did Blockbuster show up?
Blockbuster's more of a 90s thing, wasn't it?
Oh, really?
I mean, the first Blockbuster may have been around in the 80s, but I don't think they were like a household name. Until the 90s.
Yeah, I think you're right. 90s.
Like when I was in high school, you know, we had to rent from like small mom and pop
Yeah.
shops.
Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah.
It was funny though because growing up in a conservative Kingman, they would bring in like R-rated stuff and they didn't give a shit who rented it. In fact, that's I watched. You ever seen Fritz the Cat?
Yeah.
No.
Fritz the Cat is the only X-rated, or was like one of the first X-rated cartoons for mass release.
Yeah, I remember those mom and pop stores. There was like there's all this one section that's curtained off. It said adult.
The one I went to is it was a little country market, and they just had everything out there. It's like, oh,
Oh,
looks
really?
interesting. Yeah, it's like they didn't care. So that's how I got to watch RoboCop, and RoboCop was R. Fritz the Cat was X. I remember I rented Red Fox, the comedian.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I only knew him from as Sanford and Son, right? I'd never seen his stand up. And geez, he's filthy.
I remember one VHS tape or one movie that was circulating around, or people said, "Oh, you got to watch it," or not. It's Faces of Death. Remember that?
My roommate and my second command in the Navy was a big fan of those shows. And he had all the tapes and he'd watch them all the time. I was like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Are those real?
Yeah, they were real. That was the whole thing. It's like people, collecting actual deaths on videotape. Beheadings. That's how I saw my first beheading.
Well, when we watched it, yeah, But then later on, when you get older and you see all these effects and whatnot, now
I don't think it was.
Oh,
I think it was actual collections.
yeah. Yeah, I remember in high school, a friend of mine got the tape. And so all of us went over to his house just to see it.
Yeah.
Yep, disturbing.
That the friend nobody talked to.
No, not really. I mean, we all kind of all knew each other, growing up and whatnot, and then just one of the guys said, like, "Oh, I got the tape." Like, all right, let's go. Let's all go. I mean, he had his group of friends, but once all the guys heard about it, like, hey, we want to watch it too. Ah, the good old days. The VHS tape. You guys have VHS or the other one, Beta?
Beta. Had both. I've gone through VHS and Beta. I've gone through 8 tracks and 45s and LPs and yeah.
45s, 33s. Sandy, do you know what we're talking about?
Yes, because her parents had them.
Oh,
Right, Sandy?
Still have a VHS player.
You have a Beta?
No, not that old.
you have a record player?
I do.
Really?
Records are
My
on
husband
come-
just
vinyls
bought
on
a new
comeback.
one too. A lot of my records got stolen before I moved into my own place.
Stole
Yeah,
it.
vinyl's on a comeback.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a niche market, but yes.
Yay. Went from vinyl to cassette. And then disc, CDs. Laserdisc never really took off, huh?
No.
But they weren't practical. I mean, they had good quality, but they were so big, they were unwieldy.
Mm.
I think that was the problem with Laserdisc.
That's supposed to be the feature. And DVDs came along.
I don't think CDs were a good investment. They skipped so easily.
Really?
hmm Especially if you carried them around in those portable ones.
Like a Discman.
Yeah, they get scratched very easily. I liked the MP3 players when they came out, though. I think I had one that got ran over by a car and it still worked.
I don't know. I had a Walkman.
Yeah, Walkman.
I had one of those quote unquote ghetto blasters,
I think the most I had was maybe a 5-disc changer. You could put 5 discs in it.
6.
Oh, you had a 6?
Mm-hmm.
Darren says he mostly prefers digital these days. Physical media, you have to run the risk of a child damaging it. I used to break a laser disc when I was a kid. Totally regret it. I'm sure your parents love that too,
The problem with all digital now is at any time they can revoke it or they can go back in and change something if they don't like it.
Yeah, that's true. I had that issue with music on my Android device. And they changed it to Google Music or
Yeah.
YouTube Music.
So what happened?
Well, like some of my music is like it's hard to get to now. It's like,
Oh,
even though I paid for it, you know.
And for every time we think, oh, um, Google's too big or Apple's too big or whatever, it's like you think, and then it's like in 2000, did anybody think AOL would be gone? Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that was like the only show in town at one point. Yeah,
What about Yahoo?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yahoo's still around, right?
Not in the same capacity. And it's like, and even now it's the format. I don't think it's quite what it was before.
And you tell people, yeah, we used to get our internet through CDs when the AOL, you know. It's like,
Remember when it was free? At one point, it was free. I forgot what service we used, but you had to like call into several numbers to see which one was open, I guess. Juno, I think it was called Juno.
I remember Juno. Yeah, we had Juno for a little bit.
Yeah. And then there was like Net Zero. I think Net Zero tried to make a comeback, but then you had to pay for it.
Freescape or something like that was another one. And
Let's
Yeah.
see.
The early days. Did anybody have their old game console, like a Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo?
Have it?
Yeah.
I had. I still got them. They're just not hooked up.
I still have my Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
I have like every single game console I ever bought.
You do?
hmm
You still have it, right?
Yeah, I have a Super Nintendo, a Nintendo 64, a GameCube, an Xbox 360, an Xbox One, a PS2, a PS3, a PS4, a Game Gear, a Game Boy Color,
Well, I don't hear a
Game Boy
PS5.
Advance. I don't have a PS5. It's so hard to get a hold of those. And I'm broke. I don't have one of those yet. Definition of a starving artist.
Do you have an Atari 2600?
I have one of those yet. I still have to get an Atari, and I still have to get, what is it, a Sega Dreamcast, and then I'll have them all.
Well, what about the like an Intellivision or a ColecoVision? Remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My aunt used to have one of those. She threw two of them out when she moved.
So you don't have it now?
No, I didn't. I didn't grab it. But man, those things were bulky.
There was, I think it was the Odyssey 3. Anybody remember that?
I think I do. I heard of it.
It was Atari 2600, the Intellivision. Was it Mattel? Mattel Intellivision?
Mattel, I think it was Nintendo. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they had the Odyssey 3. I forgot who produced that, but that was like the 3 main consoles.
What about Coleco?
I think Coleco came after them. That was like the next gen, I guess. I think.
Thank you.
What the heck was that?
Nasal discharge.
Will it bite you?
Don't go look at Coleco. Didn't they have Donkey Kong on that thing?
Nintendo would have it because Nintendo is Donkey Kong is Nintendo, right?
Wasn't it on ColecoVision? Because Nintendo wasn't around at that time.
Possibly because. What are we surprised?
Oh heck, it's almost 2 hours.
Yeah, ColecoVision. Donkey Kong was on ColecoVision.
All right, let's go around and what do we got, folks? Let's see.
Apparently, I was just hanging out because I got nothing.
All right, here's the Kingpin from earlier, and I'm still kind of working on this one, but Miles Morales so far.
See, I wanted that contorted look. I just couldn't get it on mine.
Yeah, well, put the hand forward like covers up a lot of stuff, so I could fake it. Yeah, that's artistic tricks, right? Yeah, cover up the body. You don't have to show as much. That's like when you draw Batman, you have the cape flowing in front of him, so you don't have to deal with all that extra anatomy.
Yeah.
You do the silhouette and just draw the part of the cowl.
Well, I mean that's what I do with the buildings, right? I just they hint the buildings. I mean, you can tell there's buildings there, but there's no real detail in them.
Yeah. No.
All right, Scott, coming to you. All right. Scott's earlier ones, I still like. I do like that half mask one. That's good.
That's how they did in the comic books. Oh,
and
the love interest. Yeah.
Love interest. Wait. Oliver love interest.
Maybe, who knows?
Hey. I always like that like a homemade suit, that one with like this blue sweatshirt.
It's the Scarlet Spider.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it's called?
But if you watch the very first Tom Holland Spider-Man, they did a homemade suit in that for a little bit, where it's like the blue hoodie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Doc Ock.
Was that Doc Ock? Oh yeah, okay. Venom? Or who's the one in black?
Miles, but then hard to.
Miles.
Oh,
Yeah, Miles is tough.
Yeah, because
Miles is tough.
all the red on the red lines.
It's like I used a gray pencil to put in the webbing, but it's so subtle you can barely tell it's there. All right, Scott. All right, Sandy, coming to you.
Oh, fast Spider-Man.
That's Peter.
Peter B. Parker.
The fat one.
And Miles.
I like the Miles. Okay, wait, can you bring the Miles back for a second? I like the mask up look too.
Fat Peter Parker.
Fat Peter Parker. Ron, you got done the show, right?
No, just a bunch of scribbles and lots of erasing.
I think on this one I'm gonna put like "What Up Danger" at the bottom just to fill up some space. Wasn't that the song "What Up Danger"? Or is it "What's Up Danger"? Is it "What's Up Danger" or "What Up"?
I feel like it should be "What Up." It's more street.
Word Up?
No, that's 80s.
Let's see. Go to the Google machine.
Hey, who sang that? Word Up.
Cameo.
Cameo.
I'm trying to find the lyrics. Yeah, the actual lyrics. That's who sang that? No, "What's Up Danger"?
I thought you made "Word Up."
A word up is the cold word. You know that when you said that you'll be heard or something like that. A word up.
A word up. Hey, he wore a cod piece all the time, didn't he?
Yep.
Who's that?
He still does.
Cameo. Is it Cameo? Cameo, right?
Yeah.
It's Blackway and Caviar. Is that the name of the singers? Does that sound right?
For What's Up?
What's Up Danger?
What's Up, team? I don't know.
Yeah. Blackway and Black Caviar.
Just look at her
I'm
right
looking at the
here.
lyrics now. Yeah, it is "What's Up Danger." Yeah. Apostrophe S. "What's Up Danger?" Look at the lyrics now. 2,000 off thermometers, 2,000 surrounding us. Travel 2,000 kilometers to hang out with us. What's up, Danger? I'm not cool enough to pull those lyrics off. All right.
Hey, what's next week?
All right. What is next week? Next week is Christmas, isn't it? No, wait. You still have one more week, right?
Not yet.
It's Christmas week. I mean,
22nd. What do you guys want to do? I'm flexible. Hawkeye will be done. We could do Hawkeye.
or Hawkeye and all his friends.
Hawkeye the Sailor.
The Avengers.
Did you say Popeye the Sailor?
Hawkeye the Sailor Man.
Hawkeye. Oh,
Hawkeye the Arrow Man.
yeah. Archer. Oh wait, that's a different show.
Hawkeye Pierce.
Who's watching? Anybody still watching? What would you guys like to see covered next week? Darren, you got something?
Didn't think anybody was watching now.
Darren was Darren and Randy, I think, were our audience tonight.
What was that? Beep beep.
Should we give some love to one of the other indies or one of the other publishers? Maybe Spawn? What about Spawn?
How about local heroes?
Local heroes?
The
Cover
the Gordon Riders, and
Gordon Riders and
Pineapple Mans and the what was Darren's guy called?
who?
Oh, Darren's the gunman.
The gunman.
Very
Stuff like
subtle, very, very subtle name there, Darren. The gunman. What's his superpower? He shoots people.
What's his weapons? Guns.
I think the gunman needs to have a arch nemesis called Florida Man. Another subtle, make him crazy kind of jokerish. There'd be Florida Man.
Would that really be a nemesis, or? I think they go together.
and then be the gunman in Florida Man.
And you're a Texas man too, I guess.
Do you think that's too broad, Scott, or you want to narrow it down to one particular one, or do you want to keep it broad like that?
No, I don't know. I was just throwing that into the ring. I don't know what.
Because I can think we got a lot of local comics.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that. I mean, there is. I just don't think of it.
I mean, there's Night Markers and the
Yeah, everybody.
Cool Guardians and Pineapple Man, Gordon Ryder, and Gambit Ice.
Auto Rangers.
Auto Rangers. The word that I can't say because it's got too many.
Ranger.
Too many R's close together. Auto Rangers. Here, Darren says the gunman's powers are anger, hatred, guns, money, and power. Somebody said Matrix. Matrix comes to mind.
Well, Matrix
That was
comes out.
Darren. Matrix? You guys want to do Matrix?
And put that in good quality.
I could do that.
Ron, your audio is going bad.
Is it?
It was, yeah. What do you think, Matrix or Local Kind Heroes?
I think local kind heroes is more variety, right? Matrix just
Black trench coats.
yeah, everybody in black trench coats, right?
I don't know. Have you seen the trailer for the new one?
I mean, I could draw Sentinel.
I like the way Jessica Henwick looks. I don't know what her role is in the movie, but she looks cool.
Oh, the blue hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could draw a Sentinel and all those other mechanical stuff, but kind of limited, huh?
All right. So Local Kind Heroes. All right.
Local kind heroes.
Is that a good enough name? That's not too offensive.
Local kind heroes.
The kind heroes.
Heck, you just make up your own.
Just Duck Kind Heroes, or Local Kind.
Local kind.
Local
Kind Heroes. All right. So join us next week for Local Kind Heroes.
We're just local kind people.
Okay. Anybody have anything they need to promote?
Nah.
Push? No conventions coming up. No shows coming up that we need to keep an eye out for.
I don't know. I've been watching that Wheel of Time on Prime. Kind of enjoying it.
Okay. Wheel of Time. I haven't watched that yet. I'm watching Expanse is back on, so I've been watching that.
That's when I still gotta start.
All right. If no one's got anything to push, you can find Sandy as Solo Cut Art, right? And Ron at Ron Arcat.
Ron Cat.
Or is it Ron Cat? RONCAT, Ron Cat.
Yeah, on Instagram.
And Scott at Bonsai Boy.
Yeah.
There's no numbers after that, right? Just Bonsai Boy.
Well, depends on where I'm at, because if I didn't snag Bonsai Boy before somebody else did, it's either Bonsai Boy or Bonsai Boy 808.
Okay, Bonsai Boy 88. And I'm Marco Dom wherever I'm happen to be. All right, everybody say aloha.
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 See you guys next